Today's story is going to be a copyright saga that, I was on the other side of this time. So once upon a time, a long time ago, way back in 2005, 2006, I started a podcast about teaching English as a second language. And me and my buddy went and did it, and we have 100 episodes up and out. And if you're really, really curious, let me know, and I'll send you information down in the links so you can go check that out. But it's not terribly important, and I haven't made an episode in a while. I really need to get back to it, but been busy trying to finish the doctorate. So, but anyway, the reason I bring that up is because about, 20 or 30 episodes in, I decided, everybody's being a stickler about copyrighted music for their intros and outros, so I am going to go have my intro and outro music made for me. And there's a lot of services out there now. You can get it done on Fiverr and stuff like that, but kind of you get what you pay for. So one of the things I want to explicitly acknowledge in this story is a guy named Mark Blasco. If you have never heard of Mark Blasco, he wrote the main theme for the Twit podcast, the main Twit podcast, and he was an awesome composer and musician, and really is fantastic. How many people are Dr. Horrible fans? Yeah. He had one of the entries, I think it was one of the final entries in the Dr. Horrible sing-along blog contest that they had when that was popular. I was really excited for him. But you can get a hold of Mark here at podcastthemes.com. And if you need music made specifically for you, he's absolutely fantastic and a very stand-up guy. So definitely tell him Scott sent you and that you found it here. And hopefully he'll be able to help you out at a price that you'll be able to afford. And Mark does great work. I wholeheartedly recommend him to everyone. Anyway, so I got in touch with Mark and said, hey, there's this song by Bump of Chicken called Tentai Kansoku. I'll go ahead and link a version of it up here. And I'm like, I really want something like that, but I want it to evolve out of a school bell and da-da-da-da-da, and had all this idea. So I sent him a copy of the song, and a couple weeks later, he sent me music that actually I use at the very end of this podcast YouTube channel to wrap up my videos. One of the bump themes that he provided for me is kind of the intro and outro theme for my YouTube channels. Anyway, he made this theme song for me and put it up, and we used it for the podcast and stuff like that. And you remember maybe sometime this summer I recommended this book called Never Split the Difference. And the guy who wrote that is a cat named Chris Voss, who was a FBI hostage negotiator, and I was really interested in what he has to say. And so whenever I come across interviews with him or him giving talks or presentations on YouTube, I pull up the file and listen to it. And I started listening, and I'm like, hey, that music sounds really familiar. And it was my music. It was the music that I contracted Mr. Blasco to write for me, and I paid the extra little bit to make sure that I had full licensing rights, and it's mine. And if anybody is interested in having it done, I would promise Mark that I'd give him a shout out and send people his way. And so I'm like, uh-oh, that dude stole my music. I'm not going to give you the guy's name because I don't want to restart the fight, but I think it is important that you know that this kind of stuff does happen. So he was not a terribly pleasant fellow. I sent him a little note saying, hey, I'd like to work this out. It looks like you got my music. Must be some kind of mistake. Where'd you get your music done? And he sent me to a dude on Fiverr who said that he pulled it down from audioblocks.com, of which I am also a member, but I haven't been able to find it there yet, and so I have to go have a discussion with the guy on Fiverr, but there's no name attached to that account, so that's just going to gone, right? So I contacted the guy on Fiverr. He said, yeah, I don't remember any of it and doesn't sound familiar, and okay, if you say so. But yeah, I get all of my stuff from Audioblocks because Audioblocks is a royalty-free thing, and as long as you change it a little bit, you can use their audio for your stuff. I've used it. I've used their work on YouTube a couple of times, and it's good. It's good stuff. And if you want a code, I have a $99 code. You can get a year license to use all of their music. And I've been trying to find my music on there, but I haven't been able to find it yet, so I have a sneaky suspicion somebody might have been lying to me. Maybe just a little exaggerating, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, I got to have another discussion with him. So anyway, so I tell the guy who's running the podcast, I'm like, hey, dude, seriously, you can't use my music anymore, because at this time, 2 weeks have gone by, and he's put up another podcast with my music as the intro and outro of his podcast. I'm like, you can't do that anymore. It's mine. And so he decided he was going to be pissy about it. And he's like, well, you have to show me proof that it's yours and that you have the full license to it and stuff like that. And because I paid for this. I'm like, okay. So I went back and got a hold of Mark and had Mark write me up a little thing that says yes, because I had sent the gentleman a copy of the email correspondence that Mark and I had that showed that I owned the full rights to the music and it was mine. But he didn't like that, so I had Mark write me up another thing, and I sent him that, and sent him that at 9 o'clock at night. I was angry. He sent me that back an email saying, I'll have my lawyer look at it. And so I went and put 4 copyright strikes on his YouTube channel because I tried to be nice and he wasn't playing nice. He only had 4 YouTube videos up, and so I struck basically his whole channel. And then I went to bed because I felt happier with myself for doing that. I tried to work it out, tried to be nice. So I wake up in the morning and he's evidently heard back from his lawyer because it was only 30 minutes after I sent him my message back saying, I'd really rather prefer to work this out, but are you sure you want to be on the hook for 52 episodes of podcast or copyright infringement with over 35,000 downloads at about, 50,000 pounds per infringement? Are you sure you want to do that? And so in the morning, I woke up and checked my email, and gosh, he turned right around at that point and said, oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry, this was just all out of the blue and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, no problem, no worries. It'll take me a little while to change all of the old episodes and stuff. I'm like, that's cool. Take 6 months. I don't care. That's fine. But get that stuff off of there. Or if you want, maybe we can work out a license. And he hasn't written back yet, so I don't think that's what he wants. But yeah, so it was interesting. I got to flex my muscles a little bit because I did own the music and it was mine, and I caught him using it. And to be fair to him, I don't think it was malicious. I don't think he planned to steal my stuff. He thought he was getting something legitimate, which is why I got to go have a more forceful discussion with the guy on Fiverr who claims that it came from Audioblocks. So, yeah, it's interesting to be on the other side of the copyright debate. But the guy's already changed his music on the new podcast, which is fine. So he's going to slowly go back through his old stuff and change it so that he is in compliance. And he didn't want to send me any money, so he's just going to change out his old stuff. I'm like, that's cool, whatever. But yeah, it was interesting. I filed my first DMCA claim this December. So yeah, I'm sticking with the kanji that I chose yesterday. Shuryo. It's done. It's over. And yeah, very exciting year. So have a good one. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, but one more time. Go check out Mark Blasco's website. It is podcastthemes.com. And if you do need music or you want music for an intro and an outro for your YouTube channel or whatever you do, it's great music. He does great work. It is totally worth the money. And I don't think his rates have gone up in 10 years. So take advantage of a professional composer, professional recording for stuff that you can really use, and make sure that it's unique and special for you. So go check out Mark Blasco. And again, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.